she was that representation that I could see on TV and be like, you know what, like maybe I can be like her one day. And I know she's inspired me and lots of other Black girls to doing gymnastics because it is a predominantly white sport. So like to have that representation is really, really important to me. And she was always someone that I could look up to.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank. If you're thinking about starting a business or know someone who is, check out Emprise Bank's SBA loans. It's always good to know your options, and they can be your partner in possible.
Hey, welcome in. It's time for Sports SHEnanigans, where women's sports and pop culture collide. I'm your host, Jillian Carol Latrinko. We're hanging out on the Kansas City Sports Network. We are powered by Cherry Co., a phenomenal female-owned brand celebrating athletes and icons and their incredible achievements. And today we have a historic athlete with us, only in college, already making history. I'm thrilled to introduce everyone to Brie Clark, a junior with Clemson Gymnastics. Brie, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome in.
Thank you.
So excited to chat with you and learn about your journey. I learned about you this week after you made history. So amazing. Talk to us a little bit about you became the first collegiate athlete to successfully execute the Biles One in an NCAA competition. This is incredible, and I have to get this right. The Biles One is a double layout, half twist with a blind landing. I can't even get past the double layout in my head, so you have to walk us through this incredible accomplishment. Now, when you executed this, walk us through what your thoughts were when you did successfully hit the ground and you just made history. You just did the Biles One. Like, walk us through what you were thinking and feeling.
Yeah. So before I went, one of my teammates, Molly, she always talked to me before beam and before floor. So she like talked to me and was like, you got this, like deep breath and just do your normal. So in my routine before I did it, I was like, okay, like I got this. I've done this a million times. And then when I landed it, it was almost like, oh my gosh, like I just accomplished one of my biggest dream in my career. Like this is so cool. And I was like, wait, I have to finish my routine and then I can celebrate after.
I love that. And I mean, that's an incredible accomplishment. And as we were chatting, I know that there's so many more that are coming in your career, but talk to me about the decision. Simone Biles, the Biles One, she created this. She has done it, obviously. You're the first athlete to ever do it successfully, NCAA. Tell me about the decision to start your routine with this iconic skill.
Yeah, so I did it in high school my senior year. And then since then, it's always kind of been a goal to compete it in college. And so this year is like a normal preseason, a normal year. So I worked really, really hard in the preseason so that way I could like do it this season. And so it's kind of like my coaches gave me a green light. And once they gave me the green light, I was like, okay, like today is the day. Like this is the moment.
I love that. And it was literally your first pass of the routine.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so for someone who's not in gymnastics, doesn't know, the lingo, walk us through how would you break down this skill from beginning to end?
Okay, so you usually do like a round off back handspring before it, and then you do 2 flips straight body, and then at the very end of the second flip, then you do a half twist.
Oh my gosh. And that's why when you land, it's called the blind landing, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, incredible. Now we have to talk about the celebrations because you wanted to do this, you did it, and then you got to celebrate. First, I want to hear a little bit about how your mom helped you celebrate this. A little bit of encouragement, but also share with us how she helped you.
Yeah, so like as soon as I got done with my routine, like my teammates were there and I got to celebrate with them. And one of my teammates gave me a shirt and was like, hey, like, this is from your mom. And I was like, okay, like, cool. Like, and so I saw the first part and it just said like Clemson Gymnastics on the front. And I was like, oh, like, that's so nice. And then I flipped it on the back and it was like, I just made history, first collegiate athlete to keep Biles on the back. And then like I was holding it together pretty well because I was like, I don't want to like be like boohoo crying. But then when I saw what the shirt said, like I couldn't help but let the tears fall.
No, that's so sweet, and it just shows, like, her belief in you, right? Which is incredible. You also mentioned your teammates. Talk to us about that celebration. Obviously, you get to, like, embrace with them, but what did that mean? Because you mentioned that they were a support system for you.
Yeah.
How did celebrating with them and your coach, how did that go?
Yeah, they wanted it for me, like, just as bad as I wanted it for myself, and when I landed, I could see, like, some of them in front of me, so it was like, "Oh my gosh," and so, like, their faces lit up too, so it was really cool, and then, like, after I finished my routine, they all, like, came on the floor, some of them were, like, tearing up, and, like, it was just a really, really sweet moment, and I love all of them so much. They made it so, so special.
Oh, that is so cool to hear. I love that. I still am trying to think about how you did it in the beginning of your routine. You see their faces and you're like, "Wait, I have to finish my whole."
Yeah.
I just I love that. I think that's so
And
fun.
it's so cool too, like, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's, like, a video of, like, you could see their reactions, like, in the background and stuff, and, like, every time I watch it, I, like, tear up because it's just so special, and, like, I know it's not like that everywhere, but it's truly, truly special that I have, like, such a great teammates on my team.
Yeah. That's amazing. And to your point, teams are unique. It seems like yours is an incredibly supportive bunch.
Yeah.
And there is another athlete who wanted to celebrate along with you. Now, this is the coolest part about your achievement. You were able to honor someone who you've looked up to for a long time. So talk to us a little bit about, motivation behind doing the Biles One and really how Simone Biles has impacted your journey.
Yeah, she was somebody that I truly looked up to. She was that representation that I could see on TV and be like, "You know what? Like, maybe I can be like her one day." And I know she's inspired me and lots of other Black girls too doing gymnastics because it is a predominantly white sport. So, like, to have that representation is really, really important to me, and she was always someone that I could look up to, and she started relatively late too, in comparison to, like, when people normally start gymnastics, and I didn't start till I was, like, 10. So I'm like, even though I started late, like, I can maybe be like her one day too or do things like her. If I work hard, like, I can, achieve my goals like she does and stuff too. So, like, to have her, like, acknowledge me or, like, to even see the video and stuff was, like, really special because it's like, "Oh my gosh," like, this is somebody that I've looked up to, like, my whole career.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was so special. I wanted to fall on the floor because I was so excited.
Obviously, Simone Biles, an incredibly impactful athlete, woman, icon in not only sports, but, pop culture as well. When we get back, we're going to step aside, take a break really quickly. But when we get back, we're going to hear a little bit about how Simone Biles responded to your reaction and what that meant to you, Brie. Let's step aside for a second as we take a quick break.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story. Like Brian Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Brian Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner impossible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We're back with Brie Clark of Clemson Gymnastics right here on Sports SHEnanigans. Prior to the break, Brie, we talked about how Simone Biles impacted you, influenced you. Then you were able to almost honor her, right, with this incredible execution of the Biles One in an NCAA competition. So talk to me now about Simone Biles caught wind that you did this and she's actually responded, but tell me a little bit about how that happened. You got to love social media, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about how the video of you doing the Biles One made it to actually be seen by Simone Biles.
Yeah, so I was actually walking with so we after meets and stuff, we go like on the elevator and then we get to see like little kids and stuff like that and it's like super cool, super fun. And so then I was like with my parents and we were like gonna go and get food and stuff. And then Carson is like our social media person. And she was like, Brie, like, are you still here? And I was like, yeah, I'm still here. Like, we're walking outside, like, do you need me to, like, do something? Or, like she was like, "Yeah, like, come to, like, this place in Littlejohn." And I was like, "Okay." So I get there, and then there's another lady that had, like, a flashlight because it was dark outside, and she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna show you something." And I was like, "Okay." And then she showed me, like, Simone, and I was like, "No way. Like, is that real?" And she was like, "Yeah, like, it's a thing." Like,
It's a thing. It's a good thing. So your video was posted to social and obviously somehow tagged Simone Biles or something. Again, the
yeah.
social media. Um, but you know that she watched you execute it. And then she
Yeah.
commented, and you have to almost be grateful for your social media team, right? Because
Yeah.
they captured the videos, almost sent it to Simone, so to speak, then captured your genuine reaction when you found out Simone Biles commented not once, but twice on your video. She shared the first comment was just a bunch of celebratory emojis, which I love. And then the
Yeah.
second one, she came back and said, and closing out Black History Month. Yes, ma'am. I know that's right. What does that mean? What is going through your head when you realize, like, Simone Biles just answered you?
Yeah, I think I'm still in shock, like, it still really hasn't hit me yet, but, like, it is so special, and just the I think she was, like, just in Africa too.
Oh gosh.
So it's, like, the fact that she, like, took time out of her day to, like, look at it and then, like, comment on it and stuff, like, I don't think she'll ever know how much that meant to me, and it means the entire world to me.
Yeah. It's incredible too. Just to from an outside perspective, see almost like a full circle moment. You're a young gymnast, you've watched Simone Biles' career, and now you've honored her by emulating or, executing one of her skills. Tell me a little bit about, what does that mean to you to know that she's impacted you? But you just mentioned after your games, you get to go speak with young fans, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how you feel your role is going to evolve and develop in doing what Simone did and encouraging and motivating that next generation.
Yeah, cause I remember, like, being a young girl and, like, going to, like, Alabama meets or, like, going to different college meets and how cool I thought those girls were, so it's, like, really cool to see and be on the other side of things, and to just, like I love kids, it is the best part of the meets and stuff, so it's really cool to, like, talk to the kids and, like, remember their names and, like, see them after meets, and so it's really, really special to be on the other side of things, and I know my teammates love that too, but it's truly, truly special.
Yeah. And as a female athlete, talk a little bit about, it sounds like you have an incredible support system and your team is really supportive of each other. Why is that so important for you, a female athlete, a Division I female athlete making history? Why is it so important to be in a team with a culture of that we're going to support everyone, not competitive against each other, but more supportive?
Yeah, it's very, very important because not all teams are like that, and it's not like that everywhere you go, and Clemson does, like, a really good job of supporting not only, like, female sports, but all sports, and it's really cool for us to be like, this is our 2nd year, and people are coming, like, we have, like, 8,000 people coming to our meets, like, right out the gate, and it's really, really cool to have that kind of support, like, straight out the gate, and it's truly something special and something that, like, not a lot of schools have, and so we're really, really grateful for every single meet that we have, every single fan that comes to support us, and we don't take it for granted.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, athletes like yourself obviously are still growing that program and continuing to do amazing things. What is next? Obviously, you did the Biles one. We know Simone herself. Maybe she's got other things coming in her life and in her journey, but Is there another skill that you have your eyes set on? Anything right now is the next goal for you?
As of right now, no. My biggest goal is to like finish out the season, and we have ACCs coming up in the next few weeks, and really enjoying the little moments with my team and stuff as the season comes to close because it goes by so fast.
Yeah. That's awesome to hear that you are wanting to take a moment to enjoy everything. As a former athlete myself, you're in the moment and you think you're going to be there forever, right? And then look at me now, a washed up Division I athlete. I think you're really wise to take in those moments, which is very important as an athlete. So, talk a little bit about this, what we've seen in the United States in the gymnastics world. There's so many incredibly talented gymnasts. Do you aspire to follow in Simone Biles' footsteps? Do you aspire to, compete internationally? After we get through college, what are some of your long-term goals there?
Yeah, I know, like, I think for me, after next year would be my senior year, my super senior year. I think I would be done after that, and then move on with, like, finding out, like, what Brie likes to do outside of gymnastics or, like, what do I enjoy and, like, exploring and learning more about myself and yeah.
You have an incredible head on your shoulders there, sister. Good for you for acknowledging but you're going to be happy and proud of your career and then explore the other things. Along those lines, what are you studying? What are you doing academically?
Yeah, so in December, I graduated with my bachelor's in communications. And then I guess in May, I would start my master's in sports business and analytics.
Nice. Obviously, a brainiac is what it sounds like. No, I'm kidding. But no, it seems like you just have a really great direction and a really good appreciation for where you are, what you're doing, being in the moment and then going on to the next chapter. So incredible. Well, obviously, as you mentioned, ACC championships coming up. So we're sending all the added vibes, but amazing accomplishment that you have made history. You're going to go down in the history books as the first collegiate athlete to execute the Biles One during Black History Month. You've got Simone, the GOAT herself, to respond to you and congratulate you. I mean, this is a big, big deal. How has this week been? After everyone's hearing about it, you're doing all these media interviews. Like, how has that part of it all been?
It's been super cool. Like, it's just a testament to how good God is, and has been to me. It's crazy when you look back at, like, the journey and you start to see his hand in different things. Like, something told me, like, the morning of the meet, like, okay, like, look at your Instagram and, like, see when, like, the first time you did it was. And in high school, I did it February 22nd, or no, not 22nd, February 27th, 2021. And then the day I did it this time was February 28th, 2025. So it was like 4 years in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's incredible. And again, you're just so wise to be reflective. That's amazing. It's really refreshing too. So it's been very cool to get to know you and understand your perspective. And, we're not skipping over. We know it took a lot of hours in the gym and a lot of years of dedicated discipline training to get where you are. But so happy to be able to celebrate you and learn your journey of how you got here and how you got Simone Biles to comment on your it's incredible. It really is. But sending you great vibes as you finish out ACC championships and then of course your super senior year as well. But thanks so much for joining us, Brie. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was very nice to meet you.
You too. All right, Brie Clark, she made history already, but she's a name that you're not going to want to forget. The Clemson gymnast, the first ever to execute the Biles One in NCAA competition. That was our Sports and Shenanigans for the week. Thank you again, Brie. Catch us next week, guys. We've got more coming your way.